Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we've got a Start Collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar video for you for Warcry, and today we're going to talk about starting your Seraphon force with the Starblood Stalkers. The Starblood Stalkers are one of the many Warhammer Underworlds warbands that were given rules in the latest Tome of Champions 2021. Now, if you like your Underworld warbands and you'd love to use them in Warcry, all the warbands from Diachasm season and previous have rules inside the latest Tome of Champions. In this video, we're going to talk about how we can use the Starblood Stalkers to start out our Seraphon warband. We'll talk about all the models inside the warband, what they can do on the table, and then we'll look at some other models we can bring in. Seraphon are a great way to get started into Warcry, as thanks to some of the other options we have available, they can be definitely cheaper because you're not having to buy too many exponential models that you won't need for your warband or with this force. With that said, we're going to look at some other units, and then we'll finally show you a little 1000 renown warband to get you on your way and started. Now, to start off with, we have one hero in the warband, and that's Skinks the Diviner. He's got access to a triple ability called Imbue with Azerite Energy, where until the end of the battle round, you add one to the move and toughness characteristic of friendly fighters whilst they are within 9 inches of him. This means if you start your move within range, you will get that extra movement, and if you come into range during the turn, you'll get that extra toughness. And if you're in range at all times, you'll get both. Pretty cool, solid little ability. He is only toughness 3, which is pretty low for a hero. 18 wounds as well is not particularly high. He does have your generic sort of wizard attack at 3-7 range, 2 attack, strength 3, 3-6 damage, and then a couple of 1-4 damage attacks in combat. Nothing too much to write home about. But his big bodyguard, Clacktrock, is pretty awesome. Clacktrock is the Saurus character you can see there. He's got the stat lines of a hero, but he's actually not a hero, so great for including a fighter with some really high stats. 4 attacks at strength 4, 2-4 on his damage. Nothing too crazy there, but his toughness of 5 and 28 wounds make him a really hard character to take down. Remembering, if he's in range of Skinks when he's used that ability, he's going to be at toughness 6. Now, looking at other characters, we've got Otterpatel, which is our Chameleon Skink, who has access to a really cool double called Chameleon Ambush. If this fighter is not within visibility of any enemy fighters, you can make a bonus move, which is pretty cool. And then he's also got a nice shooting attack at 2 attack, strength 3, 1-5 on his damage. That crit damage of 5 is really good, meaning if you can get that free move, get him to move into range and then make some shots with his 12-inch range bolt spitter, he can be pretty useful. 2 on his toughness is pretty low, and 10 wounds, meaning he is really fragile, so you need to use him really well. Tok is the other bolt spitter wielding Seraphon you can see at the top left. He's 1-4 on his damage, however, toughness 2 again, and 10 wounds. We then also have Huachi, which is the javelin wielding skink, which is a bit of a mixed bag. So his javelin can be thrown at 8 inch for 1 attack, strength 3, 1-4, or he can use it in combat for 3 attacks at strength 3 or 1-3. Toughness 3, thanks to his shield, he's a little bit more survivable than your other skinks previous, and 10 wounds, same as them. Zepik is the last of our skinks, no ranged attacks, and just 3 attacks at strength 3, 1-3. And then toughness 3 and 10 wounds. He's a really nice, cheap 65 renown character to fill out your warband. Nothing too crazy about him at all. But with that all said, let's look at some other units we can bring into the force to expand upon this. And so we look at other things to bring in. The first one I really like is I like a look of the different skink priest available. So you've already got the double tide of serpents available to all the different skink priest variations. This is the Star Priest and the Star Seer. The skink priest is the cheapest option, so this is going to give you the most options going forward to get other things inside your warband. Tide of Serpents is a double you can use to pick an enemy fighter within 8 inch, and you roll a number of dice equal to the value of the ability. For each 4 to 5, you allocate 1 damage point, but for each 6, you allocate 3. A nice, good range damage ability, which is generally what you sort of need in your Seraphon. You don't want to get stuck into too much combat with all your skinks, you want to be able to do things at range. But you do have Cold-Blooded Commander, which is available for all Seraphon heroes to use, which is a double, and so a fighter can use this ability only if an enemy fighter has been taken down by an attack action made by them in this activation, and you can make a bonus move or attack action. Great for if you've gone in, shot something to death with one of your skinks, and then retreat out. A fantastic ability for that sort of stuff. But looking at the Skink Priest, he's got his generic sort of ranged wizard attack at 3 to 7 range, 2 attack, strength 3, 2, 5, that sort of same damage. A little bit weaker than the Skinks Star Priest, who has a crit of 6 and a regular damage of 3, so 3, 6. Both of them will have a toughness of 3 and 18 wounds though, so pretty solid in that respect. But where I really like the Skinks is I would love to get some Skink Handlers into any warband I play Seraphon with. Skink Handlers enable you to use the cool ability which is called Hunting Pack, where you can pick a visible friendly fighter with a beast rune mark within 2 inch of this fighter, and they can make a bonus attack, so definitely goading in some of the monsters. Their own attacks are 2 attacks at 3 for strength, 1 for damage. Toughness 2 and 8 wounds makes them extremely fragile, but they can do some really good buffing of the Salamanders and Razordons. Both Salamanders and Razordons have ranged attacks, which is really cool. And so this means you can have those Skink Handlers a little bit further back and protected by these beasties. The Salamanders are the cheaper of the 2 options, with a 7-inch range attack with 2 attacks, strength 3, 3, 6 on its damage. And then you've got the Razordon, who has the longer range of the 2 at 12, 5 attacks, strength 3, but only 1, 3 on its damage. So it's really, do you want a couple of high quality or more low quality attacks with the 2? The Razordon does have toughness of 4 compared to the Salamander's toughness of 3, but both have 20 wounds. Really fun pieces to add to your Seraphon force, and like I said, buying a Skink Priest and a pack of either Razordon or Salamander is definitely a cheap way to add onto the Starblood Stalkers to get your Warcry warband started. With that said, let's have a look at the warband we put together. And so this is the warband we've put together for the Seraphon. We've got Kixitaka the Diviner and a Skink Priest in there as our 2 heroes. This is just a great little combination, allowing our 2 Skink Priests to go around, use Cold-Blooded Commander. Kixitaka will generally form the base, probably around with our more defensive orientated Skinks, while the Skink Priest can go up with things like Otterpatul and Tok to provide some fire support. Clacktrop would probably stick close to Kixitaka, making sure and probably hold onto objectives with him. Meanwhile, you'd have Otterpatul Tok and the Skink Handlers with the Salamander providing some fire support around the force, while Huachi and Zepik you generally throw themselves in harm's way to make sure that Kixitaka doesn't take any harm in combat. This is a pretty fun Seraphon force. You've got 995 renown spend, and there's definitely some ways you can change up. You could drop a Skink Handler if you want to get the Skink Star Priest in here, or perhaps a Razordon, but then you would be lacking, I guess, the redundancy. I generally like the 2 handlers more than taking 1 handler, otherwise you've not got the redundancy if someone targets that handler nice and quick. 140 wounds though at 1000 renown is really solid. This is on the upper edges of where you would go wound wise, which is really nice. And you've got quite a few models in your warband as well, with 2 characters and a nice looking 7 fighters. This is a really plentiful warband with a bunch of different options and a bunch of different pieces and sort of pairs of units that you can play around with on the table. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, drop us a comment down below and let us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by joining our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel and get your name up on the screen like all these fantastic people do, you can do so by supporting us either on Patreon or YouTube members. As a special thanks to all our Patreon and YouTube members, we'd love to give them a shout out. So a shout out to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, and Dynet226. And a shout out to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Vinny, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Shelf, Adriana Edwards, and Sean Scott. A special thanks as well to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for our channel, and to Xmorphic, who does all the amazing background work for our channel's Discord server as well. Thank you all for watching. Once again, everyone, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.